Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Twin States News. I'm Nicole Menner. It seems that since SEC play opened for the Mississippi State Bulldogs towards the end of September, the team's kind of been served a handful of ranked foes, and that trend continued on Saturday night. The Bulldogs hosted the 16th ranked Aggies of Texas A&M. Their only two losses coming from Alabama and Clemson, but State finally finding that consistency they've been missing for most of the season. Nick Fitzgerald bounced back from the worst start of his college career, throwing for 241 yards, running for another 88, and scoring 4 total touchdowns, getting the Dogs to 5-3 and back in the top 25, ranked 21st in this week's AP poll.
Last night, we were going to go after it, and we were going to call this game aggressively on offense, defense, and special teams, but particularly on offense. As I did a self-evaluation, kind of looked at the past few weeks, and in some ways, the fabric of the season, I felt like I lost my identity as a play caller. And instead of worrying about what could go wrong in protection and throws and routes, we're going to worry about what's going right, and we're going to go after it.
The Bulldogs will host Louisiana Tech next weekend, wrapping up the non-conference schedule. Well, the New Orleans Saints able to stay atop the NFC South with a huge win over the Minnesota Vikings Sunday night. And it probably wasn't in the way most people expected. Drew Brees threw for just 120 yards and tossed his first pick of the year. But it was the defense coming up with a pair of big plays that changed the game. At the end of the first half, Vikings receiver Adam Thielen fumbled the ball in the red zone. The Saints turned that into 7 points. And then Kirk Cousins threw a pick six in the third, and the Vikings couldn't recover. It was a gutsy win on what was a slow offensive night.
We were efficient. There weren't a ton of big plays, but it was just a lot of grinded out type football. Time of possession, running the ball well, getting completions, and putting ourselves in positions to score.
Well, it's a bad few days to be a coach in Cleveland, I should say. First up, Cavs head coach Tyronn Lue fired Sunday just 6 games into the season after taking over the 2015-16 season. Lue coached the Cavs to their first franchise championship in 2016. Now, after starting the season 0-6, Lue was out and Larry Drew was named interim head coach. And then you had news coming in this morning that the Cleveland Browns have fired head coach Hugh Jackson. The Browns dropping to 2-5 and 1 on the year after losing to the Steelers this weekend. Jackson had just a .205 win percentage, which is the second worst in NFL history among coaches with at least 40 games on their resume. The Browns also fired offensive coordinator Todd Haley. Former Saints defensive coordinator Greg Williams has been named the interim head coach. And the Boston Red Sox are your new World Series champions after taking down the Dodgers in L.A. in Game 5. After recording the most regular season wins in franchise history with 108, the Red Sox steamrolled through the playoffs by posting an 11-3 record. Steve Pearce leading the Boston offense, 3 home runs, 8 RBI in the Fall Classic as he earned World Series MVP. Keep in mind, he wasn't even on this team until July, and he grew up a Red Sox fan. What a moment for him. Plenty of celebration. 9th title in franchise history and the 4th in the last 15 years.